how to use social media to bring more traffic to your blog. It's a question I've been asked many times before, and that's what I'm going to tell you today. So there are many ways. I'm sure that a lot of you spend a lot of time on social media, so you do see how others actually spread the information that people should go to their blog, or perhaps just the blog post themselves. So, no matter what social media you are on, whether you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, in Pinterest, Twitter, they're all doing quite great actually. A lot of social media platforms have a lot of engagement, so try to choose the right ones and make sure that you keep it regular. So, how do you bring blog traffic from all these social media platforms? Now, a lot of platforms are going to do everything they can to keep you on the platform itself. However, there are things we can do to attract attention because people do want to read and people are definitely going to be interested in your content because you're packing it with value, right? So, images. Images are just such an easy one and it's an obvious one as well. Every social media platform supports images because you do need a certain amount of images. Obviously, if it all had to be video, it would be a bit overwhelming. So Facebook will put in a good mix of images and also videos on people's feeds. Now, when you have, say, one blog post or maybe one vlog, you're going to turn it into a number of different images. You can use an inspirational quote. You can have maybe a slideshow of different images that deliver the message that you want. You could have 2 or 3 sentences that are really punchy and that deliver not the punchline, but ideally, the whole idea of your blog post. And of course, you can also use humor. People like visual stuff, but when it's humorous, this can really, really get you. So if your topic lends itself to humor, make sure you use that as well. So images definitely it has to be one of your ways of sharing it. In fact, even in your image itself, in your blog post itself, you need to make sure that you have different images, because then all you need to do is just reformat these into squares and share them on social media. The next thing is video. Now, this is something I do quite a lot. I like to refer to my blog posts in my videos, and the reason is because they are actually related. I'm kind of using not the same content, but similar. So, they appeal to the same target audience. A video, even going live on Facebook, maybe you have a video podcast, or you also just use the sound of the video for a regular podcast. You can send people to your blog post to get more information or to your website, and this is going to be adding value to your user and also driving traffic to your website. Because, of course, even though they might register and subscribe to your YouTube channel or maybe follow your podcast, what you want them to do is actually go and read your blog post so that they get that nice pop-up with your high-value downloadable, and then you can get their email address. Because once you have their email address, of course, by building your list, you are improving your chances of selling to your audience. So very important to get them to your website, to read your blog. Once they've spent a bit of time in there, it's very good for search engine optimization if they spend time on your site. And also it is good because they're more likely to download one of your freebies. And that's exactly what we want. The next thing is something that is overlooked by quite a few people. I've heard people say that it's really, really annoying as well. So, sometimes on Facebook you see these really long statuses where they almost look like short blog posts. They can be between 150 to even 250 words sometimes. Do not overlook this. Do use them. Do have a look at your blog posts and maybe reword or rewrite a part of it, perhaps the introduction, and then lead on to the blog post. Somehow, I am not sure how the algorithm treats these, but I have noticed that they get more visibility. I'm not sure whether they get more visibility because they get more engagement, or they get more engagement because they get more visibility, but it's definitely a fact. You will get more engagement and you will get traffic to your blog post. So do not forget long statuses. And it's not only on Facebook, you can also do it on LinkedIn if your target market is there. And of course, another thing you can do is actually submit your blog posts to websites that distribute content. So, websites like Reddit and StumbleUpon, these websites will actually categorize and they will show them to people who are interested in that particular category. So look out for this kind of site and make sure that you submit them every single time. There is no automated way of submitting them to these sites. You will have to do it manually, but you can either you don't need to know a lot about technology. So if you have a VA, that's perfect. If you have your own social media manager as well, just put it on their list and make sure it's one of the things they do when they're managing your social media. And if you do it yourself, it's only a matter of adding just a few minutes a week to be able to do all these submissions. So do not forget, because in the long run, they can make all the difference. And of course, another thing you can do is use automation software. Now, I wouldn't suggest using automation for all your blog posts. So if you have a blog post and you're going to go on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and all these different platforms, don't use automation for everything. Facebook tends to discourage this. It will not give you much visibility if you automate. So what I would do is I would go to the main platforms. Let's say Facebook is my main platform and I get more engagement there. So I will go and do that manually. But then I will distribute the blog post automatically on all the other social platforms where I don't tend to interact very much on a day-to-day basis. The reason is I still want to be visible there. I am treating them as secondary platforms, but I still want to be there. So that is a perfect case for automation. I will keep my main platform active and I will stay with it and I will post manually. But in the ones where, I just want to be present, I just want to maybe get a little bit more traffic from there, then I will automate. However, it does help because with one post, then you are reaching so many more people. And, there are some platforms like Twitter, for instance, that are perfect in terms of automation because they seem to get a life of their own. You don't really need to have that much interaction on them. So do make sure that you can then build up your audience just a little bit more by looking at the right automation software. And I actually have a post about this on my blog at stephaniefitani.com/blog. And I will also be creating a video about automation software so that you can choose the right one for your budget and for your needs. So go out there and make sure you generate as much traffic as possible for your blog. And if you have questions when you're trying to do that, do pop them under this video and I will be really happy to get back to you and answer you and help you out.